All righty, Casey. I don't know if you've heard, but I think even Bigger Pockets has agreed that BRRRR is dead. Now, I don't think it's dead forever, let's be clear. But I think when you are now at 8% mortgage rates and trying to BRRRR out all of your equity and still cash flow, it's got to be over, right? It'd be really hard to
Yeah.
BRRRR something today.
I mean, in the beginning, okay, let's start with the beginning. People that BRRRR, no one hate on me. Usually people that BRRRR, they don't have tons of money, because if you did have tons of money, you wouldn't be going to get hard money loans to BRRRR and needing to get those properties that are usually in the not so great areas just so you can recycle your down payment. I feel like a lot of people get into some hot water because they want to BRRRR, and the great BRRRR deals are in more D-class markets. It's harder to BRRRR be a B grade property. So it's like, okay, already do you not have tons of cash? And now you're risking what little you have on raising interest rates, and who knows what's going to happen with housing prices. I mean, you buy a property that needs 6 months of work, and nobody has that so-called crystal ball to tell you that you're going to get that ARV at the end. So what I tell people is find the ARV, now take off 20%. So to me, that would be at least, your best worst case scenario is, okay, I'm gonna make money at my ARV. Okay, now can I make money 20% less? Just in case by the time it's time to sell your house to yourself, right? Sell it back to yourself, you can at least make your money with 20% less than you anticipated. And that's hard to do,
Yeah.
especially with how many lenders charging 12 to 15%. It's like, you really got to find those deals. And especially if you're a new investor, you're working on a property that needs a considerable amount of work and the risk is high.
Yeah. BRRRR is always, let me step back. Anytime there's a new hot idea that's pushed, like you can build a real estate portfolio with zero money, it freaks me out. It's like, come on,
Yeah.
guys, what are you doing? Yeah, it's possible, I understand, but let's not try to get the masses spun up on a strategy that has plenty of risk. It's never as easy as these gurus make it sound. BRRRR has been such a bugaboo for me. It's the only topic I hit twice in this book. I talked about one couple who's doing BRRRR successfully, and then I had another guy talk about BRRRR being an advanced strategy. I just,
Yeah.
it is amazing. I have done dozens of them, but there is a right time and a wrong time. And I think for the next year at least,
Mhm.
BRRRR is a strategy you need to put on the sidelines, because I don't think there's just so many risks. Not only the ARV, but lending standards are changing. Inflation is out there in cost and labor. It's just, all right. Let's just get back to the brass tacks of trying to find properties below market, negotiating with sellers, getting closing cost credits. Let's try to make it cash flow day one, which is hard
Yeah.
enough. Then adding all the risks of BRRRR, it's just not the time.
There's just little easier things you can do besides that. I mean, there's just so many, like you said, an advanced strategy. It's 1 zillion% in advanced strategy. 1 zillion% in advance. You have to be proficient in so many different areas to make sure you're going to do it right. It's just ridiculous. But there are other ways. Like one of the methods I'm trying to like remind my students day in day out is look for the value add opportunities. You don't need a BRRRR. Find an oversized 2-bedroom house, convert that front dining room or living room for, like you said, another week, $2,500. And you can now add an extra $30,000+ in equity value to your property, and you can have a rental increase of maybe $200 a month by just putting up a little wall, make another bedroom. So, well, that was easy to do, versus let's find a house that had a fire or had flood damage that nobody wants, and rip it down to the studs and start over when you don't even own a hammer at home and you hire someone to do your own lawn and fix your toilet. Like, if you don't know how to do stuff and don't understand what a contract and estimates mean and all that's entailed in renovating a property, really, you taking on that risk to do a complete rehab is just foolish. It's just,
Yeah, and
I
then
don't
you
know what to
add
say.
on the
It's
layer
hard.
of out of state BRRRR. I mean, whoa.
I can't even get guys to show up to my house. My husband right now, we're it's not a surprise. My mother-in-law knows we're doing it, but she's in California with her husband, and she just turned 70 on the 13th, and she paid for it, but we are redoing her kitchen for her. And so we're like, all right, she's coming home Friday. We got trying to manage this job. We got, complete demo and the guy's delayed tile and all this stuff. And it's like, the tile guy is supposed to meet Blake today at 12 o'clock, didn't show up, and he's got to go pick up all these materials. And it's like, we've done so much work with people and still to get people to show up, and imagine if you're not physically there and you've got to do it from far away. I mean, good luck. You've really got to have a team of people that you've worked with before, and some capacity, even starting off with small jobs before you can graduate them to bigger things. And so if you're trying to do a BRRRR out of state too, people do it, I guess, but how many of them are successful? I'd like to know. What's that percentage?
A lot less are successful today than 2 years ago. That much I'll tell you.
Because 2 years ago, you could mess up and just wait a week and your value would go up. So it would just fix any of your mistakes. Everyone's like, oh, I got all these units in, 1 year. And I did the BRRRR, I did this or that. I was like, oh, when did you do that? Oh, 2021, 2022. When prices were like, oh, okay. So you can mess up and it was just fine. You still make money. It's like, where's those people that are having to really be down to the wire, to the penny, and then some on all their numbers and timeline and the holding costs?
Yeah. It's
going
to be tough. It's going to be tough the next, certainly in the next 4 or 5 months. Rates are high, slowing down. This is the time I think new investors need to learn, right? Learn the skill, evaluate deals, understand what average is. This is not the time to get enticed by easy money. It's never easy. It always takes work. It's just wild to think about all these easy, free money stuff that people pitch.
I know it's hard. And, you want to believe it and you want to think that there is some get rich quick or some easy path and someone's just going to show you how to do it. And it's like, oh, because someone did it one time and now wants to sell you on how to do it. It's just, don't take the bait, nothing's easy. And we talked about, Alex Hormozy a few weeks ago, but that guy, what I love about him is he's like, look, you want to make it in life? It's freaking hard work. It's dedication. It's, if he was in real estate, he would be saying, know your market. Be safe, like do the right things, don't try and take shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. Your shortcut is going downhill if you try and take a shortcut. So you just have to do the work, and you have to realize that unfortunately life's just not easy, and you've got to save your pennies, and you've got to get your side hustle to make extra money, and you've just got to start slow. That's that.
There's so much wisdom in that. Again, I think getting wealthy is really easy. It's creating disposable income. You can increase income. You can lower expenses, or both. You need to become elite at something, some type of investment, and then 10 years. I mean, no cutting the line, no easy button. It's just, hey, if you want it, sign up for a decade, and you'd be surprised what you can accomplish in a decade.
But it's just about guaranteed, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's why I picked real estate, because I am not a risk taker. I watched my parents spend all their money growing up. Their mom, I don't even know what they spent it on. My mom never bought anything. She would go to the thrift store and spend hundreds of dollars on stuff. And I was like, why do we need all these things? But they live in Mexico now in the middle of nowhere, and they bought a $40,000 house because they retired and all they had was their California equity to live on, and I'm just like, that can't be me. What is the safest thing that I can invest in to guarantee that I've got money when I retire? And so we, 401k matching with my husband's work, and then rental properties. Like, it's just the safest way. It's not super fast. I'm not risky, but we're there.
It's so funny you said that story, because again, I started building our portfolio, which I only ever thought would have 4 units, because I wanted a better retirement. That's all I ever wanted was, like, if I get to 60 or 65 and I have 4 free and clear houses, I'm going to be doing better than most. That was my big grand vision when we got started with this. Pretty wild to think about.
I love it. Real estate's amazing.
Casey, where can people find you, Casey?
People can find me every day on Instagram at Brick by Brick Wealth. You can check out my website, brickbybrickwealth.com, YouTube, TikTok. TikTok has the same stuff as Instagram. So,
There you go.
Instagram,
so much.
website, YouTube, those are the places.